Well, there you have it. Islam Makhachev gets a robbery win over Ian Gary at UFC 330 after doing almost nothing outside of one good head kick that he had and a couple of successful takedowns in the very first 2 rounds. Now, this is a robbery, okay? I'm sure that this is not going to be an unpopular opinion. That fight is a robbery. This is a damage-based scoring system. We are not the old system. I don't know why this keeps happening. The UFC thinks they're slick, sliding in robberies left and right like we're not going to notice. I didn't even want Ian Gary to win. I don't like him, but this is worse than Ian Gary, who we all dislike, winning by KO. This is worse because we didn't get to see we didn't see anything. We didn't see shit. We saw Islam Makhachev get broke on the feet, start shooting for legs, and revert back to the Dagestani crotch-sniffing style. We saw Islam Makhachev realize he was losing and just back out entirely. Oh, brother, I'm going to hold you against the cage. Nobody wants to see that shit. He's putting his toes, curling them in the cage like they always do. Dirty Dagestanis. This is what they do. Man, this sucks, bro. That shit sucked, man. Like, both the co-main and the main sucked. These were bad fights, just objectively. And Ian Gary did a pretty good amount of damage to Islam. Islam's nose is broken, and they're giving him 4 rounds. Islam may have won the first 2. I think he won the second one because of the head kick, and probably the first one too, and that's it. That's it. All he did was hold Ian Gary down at the end of the fight with a body triangle and didn't do any damage. Like, this is... I don't even know, man. I don't even know. So let's go through the card real quick. I watched more of this card than I thought I would. Tresean Gore fought Vicente Luque. It was a pretty decent fight. He got his teeth knocked out. Like, they're like holding his tooth. And yeah, just an overall pretty cool fight. That was cool. You know, I mean, he did a good job. I don't really have much more to say about that. I was shitting on Tresean Gore and saying that I didn't care about this fight, and I still didn't really care about the outcome, but nonetheless, it was pretty cool. It was fine, you know, whatever. Dante Johnson, my boy, got a first-round nasty KO. Nasty right hand, or maybe it was his left hand, but nasty KO nonetheless. KO'd. This guy's stiff. Send him back to the prelims. You know, send him back to the early prelims. Dante Johnson for the win. I'd love to see Dante Johnson finally get a real fight now that we have seen some stuff. Let's get him. You know, I mean, we're at middleweight. You could put him against... I don't know if Anthony Hernandez has a fight or not, but I don't think that's a ridiculous fight. Charles Johnson beat Eduardo Chaplin and then retired, I think, or left the promotion. It was unclear, but he wins by submission and then is just like, yeah, I'm done. And you know Dana White was pissed, bro. And just did the most Charles Johnson thing that you could do. And yeah, I actually didn't see this fight. I was doing something else. I was busy, but I mean, it looks like it was all right. You know, pretty fun fight. I don't know. It doesn't look too crazy. Yeah. It just looks like he outpaced him. Cheaty. Edson Barboza got fucking TKO'd. We knew this was coming, right? Edson Barboza's old as shit, and he retired. He got the shit kicked out of him and retired, man. The ghost of Edson Barboza was in there trying to, you know, put on a vintage performance. He's still got like an 8-pack. I don't know how it's possible. Those Brazilian guys are just built different, but he had nothing, man. He had fucking nothing, bro. Just the corpse of Edson Barboza in there swinging. Now, this fight actually was pretty good. Abdul Malik came out pretty strong, but Dustin was just better, and he just showed some veteran experience. I noticed him to start to get the edge and the striking, and then went down and had Abdul Malik shooting for legs after he was stunning him. They were trading, though. Like, Abdul Malik was landing, but Dustin just tanked that and just subbed him. Got up and was just like, fuck this, you know? Like, genuinely, it was a pretty good fight. I thought it was cool. I'll say that. You know, I definitely didn't see this card being as good as it ended up being. except for the co-main and the main event. Jalen Turner actually came back in 40 seconds and got like a super nasty KO, looked super calm walking in there, had some crazy energy. I texted the group chat of my homies telling them, yeah, Jalen Turner might be about to get slimed out, man. I don't know. It might happen. And he goes in there and just gets a crazy first round KO, man. It's just, we're back. Jalen Turner's back. I would love to see him actually fight, a ranked guy who's, important. I don't know that Fernandez was really much of a test for him. I feel like he was just a lob. But nonetheless, man, Jalen Turner's back, and he came back and performed, So what more can you say? Mackenzie Dern and Jillian Robertson, like, I know I joked and I said I wasn't going to watch this. I watched it, and I was just like, it's a Mackenzie Dern fight. What can you really expect? But she just didn't do anything that made me think, oh, like, okay, she's a champion now. This is a championship level performance. The commentary, by the way, tonight, I don't know why I'm saying tonight. It always is, but it was fucking atrocious. Like, the bias for some of these fighters, the bias for Mackenzie Dern and the bias for Islam Makhachev during these two fights were unbelievable. And that brings us to our main event. Now, we're going to just break down the main event at what I saw, because holy shit. So the first round, I'm talking about this the whole time. I'm talking about how Islam's energy is weird. He's being strange. He comes out, and Ian Gary just stands in the center and just doesn't back up. And you can tell that Ian Gary's nervous at first, and Islam starts to get some takedowns, and he just holds Ian against the cage. That's the entire first round. He doesn't even actually take him down. He just holds him against the cage. Cool, whatever. Boring as fuck. I don't even know that you can score that for Islam, but Ian didn't do any damage, so I guess you have to, right? Round 2, Ian starts to disrupt the pace of Islam a little bit. You can see it. Islam's not used to this type of speed, to this type of length. This is exactly what I was saying. This was the reason that this was going to be a tougher fight for Islam, right? Ian Gary starts doing some damage. He's starting to throw that oblique kick. He's starting to throw the body kick. He's flashing the head kick. Then they get into a scramble exchange, and Islam whiffs up the nastiest head kick and drops Ian Gary. My head's spinning, and Islam actually takes Ian Gary and then hip tosses him back to the ground and keeps him there for the remainder of the round, right? Pretty good, pretty cool. So you got some scenes right now. Third round comes out. Ian Gary starts piecing up Islam Makhachev. He's throwing body kicks. He's flashing a high kick. Anytime he feints, Islam is kind of, biting on the feints a little bit more. The more he stabs that knee, the more he throws that head kick, the more he throws the jab, Islam is biting, and more shots are touching Islam, to where we get to this end of this round, and Islam hasn't been able to do much. He can't get Gary down. Gary's doing well. Gary's found the pace now, and he's putting a pace on Islam. So now we're in the corner, and I'm looking at Islam's face on the screen, and his nose is broken, and I'm like, that's weird. When did his nose get broken? Like, what happened? And so, naturally, fourth round, Islam comes out, and I'm like, all right, dude, this might be the round where we start to see Islam lose some gas, and that's exactly what happened. Ian Gary is doing more damage. Ian Gary is not getting taken down, is doing a very good job at not getting taken down. Islam can't get him down. Another round goes to Gary, the cuck. He's doing great with the striking. He's putting a pace on Islam. Now we're 2-2, right? And so we get to the final round, and Islam deadass goes forward, holds Ian against the cage, finally gets him down, gets to his back and holds the triangle, and just sits there until the last 10 seconds, and then he starts to punch him and whatever, but literally sits there for the remainder of the round. The entire time, the commentary is going, well, Islam's obviously up ahead, and he's won this fight, and he's winning this, and Ian Gary needs to finish, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, Ian Gary at least landed in this round enough to where he had some damage on Islam. There's no way you can score this for Islam. I'm thinking that. And they score it for Islam, and they give him one of the judges, or maybe it was two, gave him 4 rounds to 1. What are we talking about right now? Because did we watch the same fight? Are we judging fights differently? This is the first time hearing about this because this is craziness. How did Islam win that fight? I don't know. It's a fucking mystery. This is a mystery to me how he won that fight. I have no idea. I'm like, Ian Gary won the last 3 rounds. I don't know, man. I don't know what more you can say about this. And this isn't like some shitty version of Islam either. Like, this is the Islam that we always have. And this was a good version of Ian Gary, and he won. And he won, and they fucking robbed him, bro. Like, I don't even like Ian Gary, dude. It's pretty funny to me that he lost, but he did, like, Islam didn't even win. That is the worst part about this, is it's not like Ian Gary actually lost. Like, Islam didn't win. He objectively did not win the fight. That's not winning. That's just not losing. Even if the fact that it's scored like that and that's what happened, Islam didn't win the fight. He just didn't lose. And people have the audacity to talk about him in GOAT conversation when this is his last 2 performances. Say what you want about Ilya, man, against Gaethje, but at least he fought. He tried to win. I didn't see that from Islam outside of the head kick. Outside of a couple of different shots that he threw. I don't know, man. This is pure UFC rage bait. Genuinely. Because that is not a win. That is not a win, man. It's not. What did they even score that? What did they even score that last fight? I need to know. What did they score that? Jesus Christ. Okay. So it's not 4 rounds. They had him win in 3-2. I don't even know, man. I have no idea, bro. That's fucking crazy. I don't know. And you have Ian Gary doing a bunch of fucking stupid, dumb shit this whole fight, patting Islam on the back of the head as he's walking away and whatever. And it's just an annoyance, man. Like, I just hate seeing him do this, but I don't know, man. That's just, I hate this more. That was such a fucking lame way to win, and I am so sick of this. And this is exactly why I don't like Merab, by the way. Exactly why. This is precisely why I don't like Merab. And this is precisely why I don't like Khamzat. But you know what? I'll give it to Khamzat. He fought Strickland. He fought. Like, he went forward and fought and made it close. So, whatever, man. I'm tired of fucking doing this with Islam, man. I had a friend who was looking at my tier list and said, you know, you got to have Islam in the sell your soul ranking. Like, it's Islam. And I'm like, bro, no. Sorry, dude, but nah. Like, you got to understand that I've gotten excited for Islam fights in the past, and then it's just that. That's what it is. Bro's been at welterweight for 2 fights, and he's been fighting like this for 2 fights in a row now. What does that say? Right? What does that say about how much weight makes a difference in the guys like Khabib and the guys like Islam? Right? Khabib, I'll give credit to Islam where credit is due that he did these fights at all and he's at this division at all. Khabib would have never done this. He didn't. He ran. He did not want to do this. So, but fuck that, man. Islam lost. Ian's the uncrowned champ. That is crazy. The cuck actually beat Islam and the judges fucking robbed him. So, whatever, man. You know, it is what it is. We found out Saturday night, except we didn't find out anything. Except for, you know, Ian Gary is good enough to be the champ, and the judges are fucking dirty as usual. Philly judges, man, I should have known.